Redditors who have decided they don't want to have children, what is your reasoning? Serious. Expensive. Big commitment. Restraining. Extra anxiety. And why not have a dog or something? I don't want them. You'd think this reason would be enough, haha. Being pregnant doesn't sound like a good time. I'm going to be 30 this year. And have yet to experience being stable with my finances. I want to do fun things for me when I am financially able to. Not skip over me and go straight to kids. I have a nephew and I love him so much. Plus I get to leave him after a few hours. As my stepmother and I always say, kiss them once when they arrive and twice when they leave. I have a lot of supporting reasons. But the main overriding one is that I just don't want them. I think children should be wanted. Not just a thing you do because that's what you do. For supporting reasons. I also am actively worried about the effects of overpopulation. Don't think I am the type of person or in the right situation to be a good parent. And don't really enjoy other people's children. I don't think this world needs more people. I don't like children. I don't see myself as a parent and don't think I'd be good at it. I don't want to give up stuff like traveling and to be responsible for another human who depends on me. By the way, I'm with 25. I hate hearing, you'll find the right man to have children with. No. No, I won't. I never wanted kids and I never will. Edit. Thank you for the award and votes. I would have never thought my first ever comment with that many votes would be about not wanting children. No reasoning involved. I knew I didn't want kids when I was 6. And 45 years later I haven't changed my mind. There are several logical reasons I'd be a terrible parent, but bottom line, I'm not wired to find any aspect of parenting attractive or desirable. Too many emotional problems. Bad genetics for mental health problems. Can't bear to bring an innocent child into such a horrible world. Generally struggle with kids because I'm not good with messes, noise, or patience. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate kids. I'm just not good with them and find it extremely draining. Don't want to be stuck giving my all to the kids for 20 of the best years of my life. Asexual. I don't want to. And that's nobody else's business but mine. I don't like children. People with kids are like, oh, I didn't either. But when they're yours it's all sunshine and unicorn farts. But the same ones have dark circles under their eyes. Hang out about once a year and bring the screaming little assholes with them. And constantly moan about how expensive children are. I like having a full night's sleep, my own schedule, and control over my own finances. Thank you. I can't provide what's necessary for what psychologists call healthy development. I don't believe any child should be forced into a world where they aren't financially secure. I don't believe any human being should be forced into this cruel, painful, hopeless, and meaningless world, even if there's a small chance that they'll be happy. An entirely biased opinion, no doubt. I don't see a reason to. I feel like this question is in the wrong direction. If you want to force another being into existence, you should have a good justification for doing so. I think the usual next response is, well, the human race has to continue. And it just becomes a lot of value judgments and posturing. Which is fine. Nothing really matters anyway. 25F. I should start by saying I like kids. In general. I love nannying, working with kids, and learning from them. Young people are seriously undervalued. But it sounds like a nightmare to be a parent. In a superficial way. It destroys the body in a way so it never goes back. The process is utterly painful and 1/3 women describe birth as traumatic. Your skin stretches. Your hips permanently widen. And your lady parts go through hell. Pounds. Oh. And bye good. Breastfeeding ruins those babies and is extremely painful and emotionally draining. It would take a lot of money, pain, and surgery to go back to some semblance of what you used to look like. So many women are treated like by their doctors, and the priority is all on the baby. Women are often stuck home alone for months to care for an extremely needy new human. Lots of help in the first few weeks. But that quickly fades and your friends disappear. No drinking, smoking, or other substances that could harm the baby for about a year or more if you breastfeed. There is a really good chance I would get postpartum depression. Risking my mental health alone is not worth it. More practically, in the US, women are penalized for having children in the workplace. On average, a woman's lifetime earnings go down 10% per child. I have worked very hard to obtain a JD, and I am not going to throw it all away before I have time to even pay off my loans. Women are often expected to do the majority or parenting. I cannot have a career and be expected to drop everything to go pick up a sick kid at school. Trials do not get rescheduled for things like that. I would not have time to be a good parent and attend all the games and dance recitals and etc. I would need a nanny to do that for me. And I really think that is unfair to a child to have someone be a proxy parent. I've seen how those kids turn out. Lastly, a lot of women regret it. As bad as it sounds. All the downsides are not worth the effort. Kids are hard. They are irrational a lot of the time. And that's assuming you are lucky enough to have a healthy child. I know the best choice for me and any child I have is to just not do it at all. I had to raise my brothers. I got the free trial and want none of that. Kids should be opt-in, not opt-out. And I have no interest in opting in. I cannot guarantee their happiness and health. It is incredibly selfish to have them and know they will suffer. I don't want to give my life to another person. It would destroy me mentally and physically. Climate change. You know what's super nice about not having kids? My so and I can just pick up Abid leave at the drop of a hat without having to worry about a babysitter or school or whatever the hell else. Kids smell weird and make things sticky. Also, they're loud. Also, for the first 2-3 years they don't really do much besides scream, and puke. And then, unless you're a total piece of, you're on the hook for at least 17 to 18 years. Phew, that. Have you ever seen when a baby kicks and the mom's belly moves? That terrifying. I would scream if I saw that on someone else. Let alone being the one feeling it. I hate small children and pregnancy sound heinous. Granted, I'm only 16. But the main reason I don't want kids in the future is because I don't want to go through the process of pregnancy, giving birth. I have a lot of genes that I don't want to pass on. From mental health problems, a genetic propensity for addiction, to a lot of physical health problems. I don't want to saddle some poor kid with all the same issues I have. Others they may get that I don't have. And then say, have fun with that. The world is already heading toward overpopulation by humans to begin with. The 1 or 2 kids I might have if I chose to have kids isn't a whole lot now. But how many kids would they have? And how many kids would those kids have? I'd rather not contribute to the overpopulation issue. I am a very private person when it comes to my body, and the thought of sharing it with another human and then giving birth to that human in a room with a bunch of people staring and poking and prodding while I'm half naked is terrifying. I have a long family history of pregnancy issues. My mother had to go to the hospital twice a week to get treatment so that she wasn't dehydrated and starving because of how much she was throwing up during her entire pregnancy with me. And this kind of thing goes back several generations. That we know of. I don't particularly like babies or toddlers. I don't know why other people think they're so cute when they can't do anything for themselves and they're always so messy. With babies, you have to change diapers, which is disgusting. And then with toddlers, you have to toilet train and clean up beds when they pee them, which is equally disgusting. Childbirth sounds awful and I don't want to put myself through that. And I would feel personally responsible if my child inherited my mental illness. I'm honestly not sure if I don't want children yet, as I'm still like 20. However, some of the reasons I have put in my cons list for having children are: they're expensive, as the world is gonna have too many children in it already by the time I'm ready. I have my own issues to resolve before dedicating my time to a child's. I want to be a dual income, no kids. I find children overwhelming with their constant need for attention and supervision. Children are expensive to raise properly, and I would prefer to spend the money on a nice house, travel, and being able to retire early. I want to be able easily travel outside of school breaks. I have a medical condition that is potentially heritable that is extremely painful and do not wish for a child to suffer with it. My grandfather also had it. Also, my family has a history of early onset of the condition in childhood, when usually it happened to people in their 20s to 40s. It is my belief that if you are going to have kids, you should love them unconditionally no matter what. A comment I saw on Reddit summed it up perfectly for me as to why I don't want children. The moment you have a kid, your life is no longer your life. Like many others, I cannot see myself as a parent, nor do I think I have what it takes to be a parent. Plus, I don't think I'm responsible enough to be able to take care of another person, let alone a child. Simply put, kids annoy me and I probably wouldn't make a good father. I believe that children are a very serious and irreversible lifelong commitment, and that the majority of society is wrong to consider them the default option rather than a conscious choice you make for good reasons. With that belief in mind, I simply have no compelling reason for why I should have children, and so I don't have them. I intentionally stopped answering this question a long time ago. Nobody ever asks people who do want children what is their reasoning. I could give you any number of reasons, ranging from "my childhood wasn't that happy" to "I just don't see my life panning out that way." But when you get right down to it, I just don't want to, and I don't understand people who do. I like sleep, a clean house, and not having to be responsible for someone else's emotions. I wanna enjoy my life and be free. Have my money for myself and buy whatever I want. There are enough people on Earth who want children. If everyone would have some, we would just overpopulate. However, I wouldn't say no to a partner. A girlfriend that accepts me the way I am and accepts my hobbies. I like my money and my sanity.